Welcome to the creative extreme, where imagination without limitation is the only expectation.
Hey everyone, welcome to a first edition of Trinity Lore. This is where we're going to start getting into a little bit of the lore and the mythology behind the universe. I'm Christopher Ickpo, aka the Artista from the Artista and the Abbot, our podcast, co-founder, co-writer, co-creator with the Creative Extreme. And obviously it starts all with Armonia. In the very beginning, there was nothing, and then Armonia came to be mysteriously. From there, Armonia began creating everything, past, present, and future, across all time and space, across all the multiverses. And in her infinite wisdom and knowledge, she began to promote the things that spoke to her essence, spoke to the heart, really, of the Trinity universe, which is harmony and balance, and did not hesitate to eliminate or destroy things that did not resonate with harmony and balance. Untold eons go by, and the universe, our universe as we know it, and other universes continue to flourish, continue to grow until Harmonia comes to a very poignant and striking realization that one supreme ultimate being is not balanced. There's no harmony there. There needs to be a counterpart to be the counterweight to her, to be the other half of a coin, and she decided to take her essence and she put it inside three different stars. Those stars were called the Triplos Asteri. Then the Triplos Asteri were hidden across all space and time, across all the multiverses, and set to rotate randomly to help hide their location. Thus, the prophecy of Simpin was created. Now, this prophecy stated that any entity that was able to find these stars, all three, would then bring them together, and that would call forth Harmonia. Now, Harmonia is all, she's omnipotent, she's omniscient, she's all knowing, she's everywhere, all the time, all at once. However, when you bring the three stars together, that calls her, and she presents you with the inquiry of cosmic wisdom. If you are able to answer the inquiry of cosmic wisdom correctly, then you yourself or that entity would be imbued with all of her essence encapsulated in those three stars, effectively becoming her other half, ruling all past, present, and future, all space, all time, all multiverses alongside Harmonia, and living happily ever after, I guess, but ultimately bringing harmony and balance to the greatest level of existence, obviously as the god or goddess or other godlike entity, or god entity, I should say, not godlike, with Harmonia. If you don't get the inquiry of cosmic wisdom correct, you are immediately disintegrated into nothing and you die. So the motivation to find all three stars and to answer the inquiry of cosmic wisdom is obviously not for the faint of heart. It's only for the strongest, the most wise, the most knowing, and the most enduring of entities that could exist. Now, over time, as civilizations begin to grow and flourish, species begin to grow and flourish across the many universes and all space and time. The organization of these interstellar star systems or groups, communities, planets, etc., they all begin to discover advanced technology. We fast forward to the current time in Trinity, and we find ourselves with something called the Simpin Treaty of Galaxies. Now, the Simpin Treaty of Galaxies is the organization of all of these different star systems, their advanced civilizations, all coming together on one accord to essentially form a multiversal governing body, to put forth rules, regulations that help maintain peace, harmony, and balance across all space and time. Um, Within that, the collective of these different species, these different planets, star systems, galaxies, etc., come to be known as the Unity. Now, within the Unity, the leadership who kind of oversee this Simpan Treaty of Galaxies are sharing all knowledge and resources that are a part of the Unity or a part of this collective with one another. However, we get into the Tromo-Cratesian Empire. Now, Tromocrate is a planet in what we call the Skotati system, many worlds away from Earth. And the Tromocratesians, the species or the race from Tromocrate, have evolved to be a conquering species. They are constantly warring and feuding with the other planets within their star system that also have advanced technology or species with advanced technology and things like that. And eventually things come to a head and the Tromocratesians come out on top. Just as a species in general, they're extremely strong, extremely fast, extremely durable. They are um, invulnerable to telekinesis, telepathy, psionic powers, and they just value conquering strength and loyalty to the race over everything, as well as valuing knowledge over everything. So as time goes on, the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies is continually trying to find a way to subdue the Tromocratesians and bring peace, not just to their corner of the universe, but to all of space, because the Tromocratesians are that great and that much of a threat in their minds to everything. While the Tromocratesians are essentially just existing within their own culture and within their own beliefs. Now, uh, once the Tromocratesians catch wind that the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies have this vast well of knowledge that the Tromocratesian Empire does not have access to, with knowledge being one of the things that they hold above all else, they decide, well, maybe we'll give it. Maybe we will join the Unity, send our leadership to be a part of the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies, and in order to get access to all of that knowledge, which we don't have, that we haven't been able to reach, whether it's because it's on a completely different far corner of the galaxy, or it's because they just haven't been able to discover it yet. So the leadership for the Tromocratesian Empire give in, they join the Unity, and the leadership visit the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies and become fall under the umbrella, I guess you could say. Now, from there, they also discover what none of the other members of the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies, none of the other planets or races or species from the Unity have uncovered, is that the existing leadership has a vault of extremely ancient, extremely valuable knowledge. A part of that is the prophecy of Simpan, the Triplos Asteri, the knowledge that if an entity finds these three stars and answers the inquiry of cosmic wisdom correctly, they will bring forth Armonia and have a chance to become a god, goddess, or god entity alongside Armonia. The reason why the existing leadership of the Simpan Treaty of Galaxies is keeping this close to the vest and has hidden this vault of knowledge of knowledge and wisdom from everyone else is because they believe if these certain items and this certain knowledge falls into the wrong hands, whether they be slightly nefarious or completely just wicked and evil, that could spell the end of everything across all space and time in existence, which is a very realistic, conclusion to come to. However, at the end of the day, you're still withholding some of the greatest information and knowledge in all of existence, which in and of itself is wrong. So, upon finding this, the Tromocratesians bring this up in a very brash and very confrontational fashion, I guess you can say, to the leadership as well as all the other members of the Simpan Treaty of Galaxy, all the leaders from the other planets, star systems, galaxies, etc. And it causes a great division amongst everybody there. There are those who side with the Tromocratesian leadership and say all knowledge should be accessible, even that within the secret vaults. And there are others who agree with the existing leadership that say, if it gets in the wrong hands, that could be catastrophic. So, with this division and this discord now, all kind of, bringing things to a head, the existing leadership of the Simp and Treaty of Galaxies decides to follow protocol and put it to order. They believe if they expel the Tromocratesians from the Unity and their leadership from the Simp and Treaty of Galaxies, that will squash things. The Tromocratesian leadership believes that if they win this vote and they can sway enough, votes to their side, then they will finally be able to access what's in that vault, and they will have essentially cemented themselves as the top of the food chain within the Sim and Treaty of Galaxies for exposing the existing leadership and saying, "Hey, you can trust us. We brought you into the vault. We should be running things now." Unfortunately for the Tromocratesian leadership, they end up falling short on votes, and they are expelled from the Unity and their leadership from the Simp and Treaty of Galaxies. Now, they do have their allies who willfully also secede or resign from the Simp and Treaty of Galaxies, and their planets and star systems, galaxies, they remove themselves from the Unity and align with Tromocrate and the Tromocratesians. So this then brings forth the greatest cosmic war of all time. And in that, the Tromocratesians are fueled by rage and by revenge in order to bring down the Unity, the Simp and Treaty of Galaxies, take over the Unity and rule the entire multiverse. They go on a spree. They're conquering planets and star systems and galaxies left and right with their allies their allies pledging allegiance to Tromocrate. Don't get it twisted. There is no partnership. There's no equal partnership here. It's the Tromocratesians are running it. And this goes on for untold eons again, as the Tromocratesians continue to expand their empire. And as they're doing this, though, they're kind of taking a Mongolian approach. They're going to people and they're saying, you can either join our empire willingly, you can leave all of your current customs, cultures, religious beliefs, everything that you currently do, know, and experience as is. Just pledge allegiance to us and become part of our empire. Share your resources, share your knowledge. We are bringing all of our resources and all of our knowledge to you that you don't currently have or have access to, or might ever have access to, further enhancing your own society, culture, race, species, etc. Or we can go to war. You will lose. You will be decimated, and we will still take control anyway. So a lot of planets and star systems and galaxies end up joining the Tromocratesian Empire this way, realizing that they don't have the means, the strength, the power, the resources, and all of those things to battle the Tromocratesian Empire. Others fight back. They lose. And this continues on for a very long time, eventually growing the Tromocratesian Empire to equal in strength with that of the Unity. Now, this, of course, leads into kind of the heart of the conflict within Trinity and the stories that we've already released with Project 365 online. Trinity being the kind of progression of Project 365 into our films, our series, our additional content that we're starting to put out and create now, kind of giving a more formal name to our universe. But yeah, a lot more to cover. A lot more to cover, and that was a lot just in and of itself. So that's the end of video one. That's the beginning of the mythology, the foundation of our universe, and kind of what really has started the ball rolling, creating that conflict, creating that motivation, and eventually all things tie into that and become more explored in depth and from a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different characters you'll meet, and a lot of different worlds that we're going to come across. So stay tuned. Keep yourself locked in to all things Creative Extreme and Trinity. We'll come back with more of these lore videos for you. Yeah, and until then, thanks for joining. Again, Christopher Eco, the Artista, the Creative Extreme. Take care.